This is Rummy's Corner. Good evening, boxing fans, and welcome to the latest in the Boxing Survey series, the top 50 all-time boxing fan favorites. The results here are based on an open survey I conducted in the classic section of BoxingForum24.com. I did not personally participate in this survey as I did not want my personal opinions to impact the outcome. A special thanks to the 61 volunteers who did participate. Each volunteer provided me with a chronological list of their top 35 favorite boxers of all time. This is the scoring system that was applied to each of those 61 lists. So each volunteer was responsible for allocating 905 points based on these values. In total, there were 472 unique boxers who received at least 1 point in this survey. That's pretty extraordinary, and I believe it covers a wide variety of tastes and preferences when it comes to boxing fan favorites. So just missing the cut at number 51, we have Bernard the Executioner Hopkins. Using him as an example, at the bottom we have the rank and name, and on the right side we have the total points earned, the number of lists the boxer appeared on, in this case Bernard appeared on 15 out of 61, and then the bottom is the number of fans who had a particular boxer as their number one favorite of all time. Now I'm going to go through the countdown fairly quickly here, so without further ado, number 50 is Ruben Olivares, a two-time champion at both bantamweight and featherweight. At number 49, we have Ken Norton, who is WBC heavyweight champion. Number 48 is Willie Pep, the Will-O-Wisp. Pep was a two-time featherweight world champion. Number 47 is Felix Tito Trinidad. Tito was a three-division champion, winning titles at welter, junior middle, and middleweight. At number 46, we have Wilfredo Bazooka Gomez, a two-division champion at junior feather and featherweight. Number 45 is Mike McCallum, the body snatcher. McCallum won titles at junior middle, middle, and light heavyweight. Number 44, Harry Greb, the man, the myth, the legend. Greb was the middleweight world champion who was also a standout at light heavy and heavyweight. At number 43, we have Marco Antonio Barrera. The baby-faced assassin was a three-division champion. At number 42, we have VITALI Klitschko. Dr. Iron Fist was a two-time WBC heavyweight champion, and he also held the WBO title. Number 41 is Gennady Golovkin. Triple G is a two-time middleweight champion and the reigning IBF middleweight champ, making him the first active boxer to appear on this countdown. Number 40 is Dwight Muhammad Cowie, a two-division champion at light heavyweight and cruiserweight. At number 39, we have Arturo Thunder Gatti, a two-division champion at junior lightweight and junior welter. Number 38, Inoue Naoya. The Monster is a three-division champion and is the reigning unified IBF WBA bantamweight world champion, marking him as the second active boxer in this survey. At number 37, we have Bobby Chacon. Schoolboy was a two-division champion at featherweight and junior lightweight. Number 36 is Jose Napoles, a two-time world champion in the welterweight division. Number 35 is Rocky Marciano, the only heavyweight world champion in history to retire and remain retired with an undefeated record. Number 34, Henry Armstrong. Homicide Hank is a three-division world champion at featherweight, lightweight, and welterweight. Armstrong once held all three titles simultaneously, a unique feat in boxing history. At number 33, we have Salvador Sanchez. Chava was the featherweight world champion. Number 32, Floyd Mayweather Jr. Undefeated in his career, Money May is a five-division champion who won titles at junior lightweight, lightweight, junior welter, welter, and junior middle. Number 31 is Joe Gans. The Old Master was the lightweight world champion. At number 30, we have Lennox Lewis, a 3-time heavyweight world champion. Number 29 is Roman Gonzalez. Chocolatito is a 4-division champion, winning titles at strawweight, junior fly, flyweight, and junior bantam. He is the 3rd active boxer on this survey. Number 28 is Floyd Patterson, 2-time heavyweight world champion and the first boxer in history to regain the heavyweight crown. At number 27, we have Jack Dempsey. The Manasseh Mauler was heavyweight world champion. Number 26 is Sam Lankford, a standout legend in the sport who competed from lightweight all the way up to heavyweight. At number 25, we have Matthew Saad Muhammad, light heavyweight world champion. At number 24, we have Jersey Joe Walcott, heavyweight world champion. Number 23 is Eric Morales. El Terrible was a 4-division world champion, winning titles at junior feather, junior lightweight, and junior welter. Number 22, Archie Moore, the Old Mongoose. The Old Mongoose was the light heavyweight world champion. Number 21 is Juan Manuel Marquez, a 4-division world champion who won titles at featherweight, junior lightweight, lightweight, and junior welter. Number 20 is Julio Cesar Chavez, a 3-division world champion who won titles at junior lightweight, lightweight, and junior welter. Number 19, Sugar Ray Leonard, a 5-division world champion who won titles at welterweight, junior middle, middleweight, super middle, and light heavyweight. Number 18 is Ezzard Charles. The Cincinnati Cobra was heavyweight world champion. At number 17, we have Manny Pac-Man Pacquiao, the only boxer in history to win titles in 8 different weight classes spanning from flyweight to junior middle. Pac-Man fought just a couple of months ago, but it remains to be seen if he will box again. Number 16, Big George Foreman. Big George was a 2-time heavyweight world champion, and he is also the oldest boxer in history to win the heavyweight crown. At number 15, we have Sonny Liston, heavyweight world champion. Number 14 is Roy Jones Jr., a 4-division world champion who won titles at middleweight, super middle, light heavy, and heavyweight. Number 13 is Pernell Whitaker. Sweet Pea was a 4-division world champion who won titles at lightweight, junior welter, welter, and junior middle. Number 12, Larry Holmes, the Easton Assassin. The Easton Assassin was the heavyweight world champion. At number 11, we have Evander Real Deal Holyfield, a 2-division undisputed world champion at cruiserweight and heavyweight, and the only 4-time heavyweight champ in history. Number 10 is James Lights Out Tony, a 3-division world champion who won titles at middleweight, super middleweight, and cruiserweight. Number 9, Sugar Ray Robinson. Sugar Ray was a 2-division world champion who won titles at welterweight and middleweight, and he is the only 5-time world champion in middleweight history. Number 8 is Alexis Arguello. El Flaco Explosivo was a 3-division world champion, winning titles at featherweight, junior lightweight, and lightweight. At number 7, we have Smokin' Joe Frazier, heavyweight world champion. Number 6, Iron Mike Tyson. Iron Mike was a 2-time heavyweight world champion and the youngest champion in heavyweight history. Number 5, the Motor City Cobra, Thomas the Hitman Hearns. The Hitman was a 5-division world champion, winning titles at welterweight, junior middle, middleweight, super middle, and light heavyweight. Number 4, Joe Louis. The Brown Bomber was the longest reigning heavyweight world champion during the long, rich history of professional boxing. At number 3, we have Muhammad Ali. The greatest was a 3-time heavyweight world champion. Number 2 is Marvelous Marvin Hagler, middleweight champion of the world. Those of you paying attention to the number on the right might notice that Hagler appeared on 45 out of 61 lists. That is the most mentions any boxer received in this survey. And number 1, Manos de Piedra, Roberto Duran. Duran was a 4-division world champion, winning titles at lightweight, welterweight, junior middleweight, and middleweight. Duran was the number 1 favorite boxer according to 7 volunteers in the survey, more than any other boxer received, which enabled him to edge out Hagler for the top spot. And there we have it. 2 things jumped out to me. First, there is a pro-heavyweight bias, but this was to be expected. We had 4 career heavyweights in the top 10, and also James Toney, whose career spanned across 5 weight classes, including heavyweight. The heavyweight bias is understandable because it is the marquee weight class historically. Heavyweight film is more readily available throughout history, and the division otherwise has generally gotten and generated the most exposure. What surprised me was the fact that the top 2 positions were non-heavyweights. And that was the other thing that jumped out to me. The fact that every member of the 80s Fab Four finished inside the top 20, and 3 of those 4 were actually in the top 5. Ironically, Sugar Ray Leonard officially holds a victory against each of them, and he finished the lowest among the Fab Four in the survey. Now, this is by no means a scientific survey of boxing fan favorites. This instead basically just boils down to the collective opinions of 61 volunteers from the Classic Forum at Boxing Forum 24. But I believe it was a worthwhile exercise, and every boxer who did land inside the top 50 is certainly someone worth looking into if you're a boxing fan looking to learn about some new boxers you might not be familiar with. Once again, a very special thanks to the 61 volunteers who participated in this survey. Thank you all for your time and effort. So who is your favorite boxer of all time? And who is your favorite boxer of all time who didn't make the cut inside the top 50? Please share your thoughts in the comments section. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed and have a wonderful night. This is Rummy's Corner.